welcome to Hat Day on Check Your Shelf.
Is that a fedora?
No,
Ooh.
this is it's a big floppy. I call it my Oscar Wilde hat. But
okay.
when on the Return to the Sun of the show, we have this this thing called the Importance of Being Earnest, where we review Ernest Borgnine movies. And because that's an Oscar Wilde play, I found this Oscar Wilde hat, so I wear it when we do that show.
It's cool.
I'm Paul.
I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
And this is a Shelfie.
I want you guys to know that I wore my hip hop shirt because you're the hip hop.
We're the
nice shirt.
We are the hip hop booktubers.
We're the hippest hoppity hip hop, the hippity hop with the hip hop hippity hop.
Yes, so we're the hip hop booktubers, according to our guest Nick. Today, Nick is going to do he's going to do a guest Shelfie today. So, Nick from Book Graveyard, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
I wanted to talk about this book that I read for Private Eye July last month that I still haven't done the video for. So this Private Eye July, did you partake in it?
I was going to, but I got so caught up doing other stuff I haven't gotten into it. I didn't even do Garb August, so and I fully planned on it.
It's hard to do those things, those events, because time just goes by and you're just like,
Well, when we did this is actually driving me crazy. When we did the Horror Mayhem, that was work because we decided to make every video for Horror Mayhem. Some booktubers will just kind of intersperse, the subjects throughout their month.
Mm-hmm.
But we were like razor focused, and it was work. So
it was awesome.
It caused me to read more, though.
That's true. When we do Sumerian September, we're not reading just Robert E. Howard all month. We got other things we want to do.
I think that's when I found you guys was during that horror.
Oh yeah. Because you when you were talking about us on the episode, I just held up I took a picture of the video and sent it to Steve. I was like, look, we're being talked about.
In a good way.
Yeah, for one.
Awesome. Anyway, so Private Eye July was Jim from Mystery and Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Great channel. Mm-hmm. And I did read a Private Eye book for it, but like I said, I never got it done. I've recorded it twice, and I was like, I hate this. So I'm going to do it right now.
All right.
Just count. Okay, guys?
This is an exclusive.
So
nice. I did here first.
Mickey Spillane, Survival Zero. Do you guys know Mickey Spillane?
I read I the Jury. Yeah.
So that's his first Mike Hammer book there. And that was back in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
I can hear the saxophone.
Supposedly he wrote it like in 11 days or something like that. He said
when I was looking up to do my book report, he said they were living in the city in New York City, and he wanted to get away from the city and buy this house, so he needed $1,000. So he wrote this book. It's just like I need some money. What, you need a book? There you go. I know it's like they said that when it was first released, it was released in hardcover and it didn't really do anything. And then as soon as they did it in paperback, it exploded.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's good.
So I was like, I read a couple of the Mickey Spillane's, the earlier one, so I wanted to read this later one. And I think we're about the same age. Do you guys remember when Mickey Spillane did Miller Lite commercials?
Yes.
So look at that picture. It's a still from the commercial. There's a freaking Miller Lite bottle right there facing the camera.
Nice.
On the book cover. And I was like, this is the trashiest thing I've ever seen. This is the grossest thing I've ever seen. A Miller Lite commercial on this book cover. So
almost like you're the man from Avon.
Yeah.
By Avon Books.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I really hope that Miller Lite paid for this. Like, I hope it isn't free. So I was like, man, I want to read that era Mickey Spillane. I was like, I want the Miller Lite commercial era Mickey Spillane to see how different it was.
Mhm.
So I got this and I read it before I realized that it's actually from 1970, and that the reason that they did these books, they reissued all of his books, but they all have this stupid Miller Lite picture on it and a little tiny photo because he had put out a new book, but I can't remember what it is now. But so at the time, to help sell the new book, they put out all of his old books in this livery, as the kids on BookTube say. So yeah, Survival Zero is actually from 1970. So it is still later than the Mickey Spillane that we know and love. And yeah, it's let me ask you, what would you imagine 1940s tough, hard-boiled Mickey Spillane is like, Mike Hammer is like, in the year 1970?
That's a good question. So how would a 1970 Mickey Spillane envision a 1940s Mike Hammer? Racist?
Do you think
sexist?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think that he grew with the times, or he is a relic plopped down into the hippie world?
Yes.
Oh man,
the
I
latter.
hope it's the latter.
Yes, you would be correct.
All right.
Yeah, he does not.
Product of his time.
Yeah, he is. Reading
He was
this
part
book
of the
was
silent
like,
majority.
reading this book was like you took the black and white character and just put him in this color world, and he still kind of acted the same way, and all of his opinions of what was going on, it's very obvious. He calls, like, like all these, these guys with long hair.
He's like Rorschach.
he calls them, like, the guy and girl hippies, like stupids and idiots. I don't know. It's just like this very, like, juvenile, like, derogatory terms to them.
I imagine it's about like what Frank Sinatra was like, in that time period too.
So it was amusing in that sense. But
in the end of the book, did he like see the error in his ways and grow and change?
He saw the error in everyone else's ways and remained himself.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it sometimes rhymes. I'm just like,
it occasionally has a Miller Lite.
Like, all the ills of society can be blamed on how long people's hair is.
So yeah, and then there is the mystery. He's got his old friend who was used to be a criminal, but he was like a low ranking criminal, nothing too bad, but he's gone straight, and he's been stabbed. He's dying, right? His dying breath, he calls Mike Hammer, not the hospital. He calls Mike Hammer. Mike, I'm dying. Come on over. So Mike shows up, and with his last dying breath, he was like, "No reason." So now he has to solve the case of why his friend Lippy was slashed to death for no reason. And then there is, it's a hard-boiled crime, so you don't just have the crime. There's all this other stuff going on that is going to wrap back around. So it's also my man from the black and white world, the Cold War era. So the Russians, there's a Russian conspiracy.
Oh, sure, yeah,
going on. Yeah, there's some Russian stuff going on, and so there's like a sleeper cell of a Russian spy, and it says that the new Russian government lost all the context of the old Russian government. So I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about here, because it's 1970, right? Was there a difference in the Russian government in that era, Steve?
When they went from the Stalins to the Khrushchevs to the Andropovs and all that, every time a new He's probably talking about, he may be talking about the Stalin era versus post-Stalin. And it did change quite a bit. It opened up some, and Stalin was pretty ruthless as a dictator. And once he was gone, they really did try to rehabilitate the Soviet system to be less of a dictatorship. So he might have been talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then okay, then that checks out. Because I was like, I didn't, this isn't like the like the Gorbachev era, where it started to go. Because in the book, the Russians come to the United States and they're like, they also do not want this sleeper cell with the biological weapon to happen.
Mhm.
Even though it's only going to affect the States, the Russians are still like, no, we don't want this. So they're trying to help also.
So that tracks. Yeah.
Which Mike Hammer is, it was very reminiscent of Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, right.
When he's like, what's that actor's name?
George C. Scott?
Yes, George C. Scott. So that's kind of how Mike Hammer is in this. He's like, why do you trust these Russians? You got the Russians in the war room?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love the scene in that movie where when George C. Scott's character is just bragging about how great that plane is, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" It dawns on him that because it's so good, we're boned.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
So I did do a quick check on my internet box, and that's pretty much what he was going for there. Brezhnev was the guy running the Soviet Union, and they often refer to that period as détente, which pretty much means an easing of tensions. And it's when the U.S. and Soviet Union started talking about having treaties to reduce, instead of being able to wipe out every human on Earth 1,000 times, they got it down to maybe 200 times. So, that's something. But the SALT treaties, arms limitation treaties, and all that stuff, they were negotiating those. So it makes sense that those Russians would have been like, we don't want this to happen. That's the previous,
See, you
I gotta
learn
stop
stuff
waving
on our
my
show.
arms around because I knocked my earbuds out. Sorry. But that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the biological weapons in the city. Everyone cares about that. No one cares about his friend being sliced to death. There's mafia guys because take it back to the old school too. You gotta have the mafia guys.
Sure.
And Mike's more concerned with this mafia guy, and he doesn't really care about the biological stuff that's going on. And he's in the know because he has a reporter friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It was, as far as like the investigation, it wasn't really that interesting.
That's unfortunate. Because
Yeah.
you could have done a lot with that.
Yeah, it was pretty slow, and it was pretty like he just kept going back to the gangster guy. He was just like, this is it has to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. When it came down to it, it really wasn't. And then the Russians wrapped back around into it.
Oh, okay.
It was all right. It was just him swinging his nuts around all over town, smacking everyone in the head with them. That was fun.
That's what you call a fluffer nutter.
And a callback. Okay, so then Nick, so on a scale of 4 and 3 and 2 and 1,
2 and 1,
how would you rate?
It was a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
No,
awesome.
That's pretty good. That's higher than I thought when you said it was all right. That's good.
Well, the nut swinging probably
the nut
changed.
swinging.
There's I don't know. My grading is always hard because I enjoy stuff sometimes because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there is like parts where there's 2 women in the story who want him, and there's 2 separate scenes where the women get completely naked and they just stand there like, come and get it. And then he's like, he's so badass that he's just like, maybe later. Maybe later. And then at one point, one of the women is like, well, maybe you can't even you're not a, you don't have the equipment. So he like takes all of his clothes off and he's just standing there at attention, but he still won't do it. Like it's very this psychological thing. And you're just like, oh man.
Woo. Sounds like something Dwight Schrute would do. Oh yeah, watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous at parts.
Well, it sounds awesome in its ridiculousness.
Well, I'm Steve.
And I'm Paul.
And I'm Nick.
Go check out the book Graveyard. Next time, and first of all, and then see, I messed it up again. Go check out the book Graveyard while you got a chance. Well, it's
What
made
does
it
that
sound
mean?
like it's going away or something. Hurry while it lasts.
Link
After
down
being
below.
on this show, I don't know what your future holds. Next time you're looking for something to read,
Check your shelf.
E. We're like the Marvel cinematic universe of BookTube channels. There could be a thing mid-credit roll, post-credit roll.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but that's a lot of editing. I just stick it on the end.
It's a good idea.